For the past few months, BetterThanStock has been attending and documenting car shows and museums and showing you other people's cars. Now that winter is almost over, it's time to focus on my own vehicles. As you might know, one of my project cars is a 1993 Toyota Supra Turbo. Late last summer, due to some poor luck, I managed to damage the almost unbreakable 2JZ engine by bending a pair of rods. That means it's time for an engine build. Now, I try to do most of my own wrenching, but I've never assembled a motor before, so I wasn't about to make my first attempt on what I hope will be the 700 horsepower heart of a very expensive car. Fortunately for me, one of the premier 2J engine builders in the country happens to live very close to me in central Michigan. Saif Naber runs a small shop, but he has a huge presence in the Supra community worldwide. In addition to building motors, he is also a nationally renowned Haltech ECU tuner. He's also very reasonable with his prices on parts, engine and car build services, and tuning. The icing on the cake is that he's a great guy and a blast to hang out with. So I've brought my Supra engine to Naber Racing for a rebuild that includes machining the block and crank, hot tank cleaning, and then assembly with forged manley rods and diamond pistons. Over the next few episodes, I will document most of the steps in the build of the 2J bottom end. But in this first episode, I want you all to meet the expert builder. Allow me to introduce Saif Naber of Naber Racing.
My name is Saif Naber from Naber Racing, engine builder, tuner over here. We specialize in the 2JZ, LS platforms. Supra is our main bread and butter, but now we're into a lot of LS swapped. Bunch of imports, Nissans, Lexuses, anything. We go from street cars to full out build drag cars. We're focusing more and more lately on just engine builds rather than full out builds. We can't seem to get away from full builds apparently. We specialize in wiring, custom wiring, tuning. Haltech platforms are our main thing here, AEM as well.
So how many engines has Naber Racing built?
Total, or like are we talking about JZ?
Sure.
Because there's a ton. So JZ wise, we're probably over the 120 mark. LS, if you include all the LS mod motors, 3 SGTs, 6 G72s, probably a combined maybe 40s, low 40s. So quite a bit of motors with built. We spec them, get them machined to our specs, bring them back, clean, check, measure, assemble, clean, and give them hell. So far we're good. We haven't had any issues yet, so it's a good roll, I would say.
And Naber Racing's got different stages for builds. You were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, we have. So you have your basic builds. Your just standard rods, H-beam rods. Compression doesn't matter. Customer selects for whatever kind of build they're trying to do, depending on the purpose of the car, what they're trying to do with the car. So there's really it's almost like it's kind of hard to claim them as different stages, because realistically you can manipulate any kind of engine package you want according to what you want to do with the car. You can have your standard pistons with thicker wrist pins and go with like an I-beam setup, and keep the standard hardware or upgrade hardware. There's so many different options you can do. You can do girdle setups. We've been testing the girdle for about 4 years now, and we've had nothing but success with it. Billet mains, we use all the Real Street billet mains. Those are the closest spec to start off with. It's easier on the machinist to get them to fall in when they line hone and line bore. So all like the top builds, we use all Real Street billet main caps, diamond pistons. Most of the time, 90% of the time we go with Manleys. You can go with the tri-beams, I-beams, I personally, in my drag car, I have the Turbo Tough Manleys with the 625 pluses. 11.5 compression, a little bit up there. It's a race gas car. So far, we're trying different combos out. The girdle I wanted to test to see what the most I can get out of it. So I was purposely trying to break the block. Couldn't do that yet, so. So
And
stock mains.
Will you disclose the dyno horsepower of that one, or is that still secret?
We'll keep that low for now. I don't want to give people, the false hope of just saying girdle be all.
Sure.
Because it's not. We all know it's not. You're still dealing with the factory cast main caps at that point. Being tied together, keeping them tied together helps them quite a bit, but the material's still the cast. So
right.
Billet mains is definitely all out would be a girdle to help the shimmying from the main caps on billet main caps. That's when you're trying to go
Sure.
crazy with it. But there's so many different combinations, and they all work very well. Stock motors work very well for a bit until you start to push. In your case, until you start to bend rods
Right.
and like to party.
Whenever
I'm a one-time wonder, man. We'll get it going.